Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is another video in the AWS SageMaker series wherein I've named it as reducing cloud cost and reducing it by 90% because I'm trying to optimize my steps. So just before I move forward in the video tutorial, if you're watching my video for the first time on my channel, please consider subscribing. My channel and liking this video. That would really help. So let's get started without any delay. So what I'm gonna do in today's video is I'm gonna show you how you perform an ETL job and what are the initial steps involved and how you provide permissions through you provide permission through lake formation. It is a bit complicated thing, so it is something which requires a bit of effort. So I'll share the screen now. So as you can see, I'll just explain the steps first before I move forward. So the first thing I started with is so the first thing I'm doing is I'm loading my raw data file onto S3, and then I'm using a Glue Crawler to get the schema from the dataset. I'm not directly using it to create populate a table data, just reading the schema, then using Glue DataBrew to profile the data, clean and transform it, and then load the clean data back into S3. And then I registered the clean data using Glue Data Catalog and then use the AWS Lake Formation for permissions. And the final step is using Amazon Athena for running the SQL queries on the governed table. So it's basically a data ingestion and data governance topic which I'm making video on. So let's show you what I did. As you can see, this is the Glue console. So the first thing what I did is I created a crawler wherein this is my crawler which I created. I provided an IAM role to crawler, and so I ran it 3 times. So this task did take a bit of while. So if you go to here, right, there are certain properties within crawler. You choose the crawler name and then you choose the data source. So my file resides within this sales data bucket within the raw sales folder. Then you provide the IAM roles. You need an IAM role to read the data bucket, and then you can schedule it or you can run it on demand. So I ran it, and as you can see, you can just run it from the top. Crawlers, you can just click on here and then run from here, right? And also you can view the logs in here, right? If you go to the logs, logs are basically from CloudWatch, um, and I'll show you the logs now. So can you see that I started running the crawler, then I have a classification which is complete, then I have created a table, a raw ls in database sales tb, then I finished writing to the catalog, then I will just end this, and if I go to the catalogs, this is my default catalog, similar to what we have in Databricks, if you guys are aware of it. Then you have a database, then you have this table, right? Though this is an empty table, it doesn't have data at all. So in order to populate the data, I would need to clean it first. And for cleaning, I'm using the AWS Glue DataBrew. I have not used it before. I'm using it for the first time. I don't think so. It's really difficult, but again, you need to understand the steps. Let us run this. Can I see my create project? If I see this, it actually runs a compute. Run data profile. So I can see something happening in here, right? So for run data profile, right? Actions. Delete, create a project with this run data profile. So this is my data already loaded into the preview. Let's run the data profile. So it's a profile job. Yeah, and I'm gonna use the current AWS account S3 bucket location, and All right. So these are the things in the AWS. I can just point it to my bucket so that, all right, I can just use my data and then I can cancel it from here, create and run job. So it will run a data profiling job. Let us see, what does it do? I need to select an existing IAM role. I have this existing IAM role for this job. Um, I don't have a lot of rows in the data, but again, I will still run it. And please make sure I was reading, for example, this is my project, right? I have to stop the session of the project. There is something, the session created 8 minutes ago. So you may have to make sure you stop the session of the project in order to avoid costing. So it is running a data profiling. It will collect summaries. I think it's basically using pandas at the back end. I mean, yeah, it's like too many fancy tools. Like I shouldn't say this, but again, it is using pandas to get the summary from the data set, and also using the pandas functions to make transformations, right? If you guys are aware of it. So it is still running. Let us see. Let it run for a while. And data preview, you can see, right? This is the data. I can see the schema. Can I see the schema? Yes, first 5 rows data. I can see column statistics. I haven't seen data profile overview. Still running. Data lineage. Not sure what data lineage. So my clean data set project. So yeah, I think it. I mean, it is cool in one way or the other, but again, it costs you a lot. So that's something is and yeah. I think I just wanted to show in depth what happens. That's the reason I am showing you guys because I think it's experimenting and um, that it is still running. It shouldn't take this long, right? So what will actually happen is it will do the data profiling and as per this, what it will do is it will create a project profile job, build a recipe, and then I run the recipe job, right? So you have to build a recipe where it's like what sort of transformation you need in the recipe. Then you run that job again. Too many jobs to run. So it's there. Yeah. Is it still running? I'm afraid of the compute cost. It's gonna one output. What is the output? Raw sales data, clean data sales. So it has actually created one data set buckets. Can you see? So raw sales data, clean data sales. So it has actually, if I go to this, right? If I come here, right? So I have a folder and a raw sales data CSV 19, 20, 16. So clean data sales. And if I download this, right? Let us see what has it cleaned. I have no idea. And I want to see JSON format. So it has created a JSON format. Oh no, I put open. So still running. I'm afraid of the compute cost. Can you see? It will show everything in data profiling. Everything is being done in data profiling. Let's cancel this. Cancel this. Succeeded. It has succeeded, right? I go to my DataBrew, my projects, my recipe, right? I have created a recipe. Projects I know of the project. This is my recipe, published version. So, recipes, I have no idea. Sales data cleaning recipe. It ran 13 minutes ago. Associated data is clean data sales. So, yeah, that's it's done. So if I go to the data sets, so clean data sets, right? View data profile. Let us see what we can see in data profile. As we can see, right? Heat map, correlation coefficient, how closely two variables are related. It's like there are total 50 rows, total 13 columns, duplicate rows are none, valid cells, and a box plot for order ID, quantity, unit price, which is not bad, right? This is like a full EDA being done by a single job for which you have to write a lot of code. Not a lot of code, but yeah. So this is there, and I think what was the next step it says. So run a recipe job, right? Applies the recipe and writes the clean data. My recipe job is done. What is the next step? My recipe job is done. What is the next step? Next step, and how do I stop the project session, right? Do I stop the project session? Right. Data brew. Um, Not a long video, but I am still preparing for this AWS Machine Learning Associated exam. This is my real preparation. I am actually I do go through a lot of materials which I'll be sharing in the upcoming videos. So I hope uh, I hope you guys really like this video, and it's mainly optimizing your steps, not just going through a lot of steps to do the basic things. So see you soon. Bye.